Hey everybody, this is your psychic Christine. Thank you so much for joining and listening in. I appreciate all of you who have been here with me, and of course, welcome new subscribers. I get new subscribers every day, so thanks for sharing, guys. It's much appreciated. So, we have this whole coronavirus thing going on, and this is why me and my associates are working together to create some webinars for you guys. And I have Nidirah here right now, who is going to be doing tarot on her webinar, and she's going to teach tarot and do tarot card readings. So hi Nidirah, how are you?
Hi, Christine. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. We much appreciate it. So, I just wanted to get my listeners to get to know you a little bit and what you have to offer. So, you teach tarot, right?
Yes. So I do teach tarot and I also practice tarot.
Okay, perfect. So, what got you into all this?
Um, so I've always had a strong intuition, which is like key for reading tarot cards. I initially got into it, I want to say 2013. I was going through a really rough patch and I decided to, log on to YouTube. And I remember that I was going through YouTube and I stumbled across a video of a woman who was laying out cards, and she was saying things that really, really resonated with me. And at the time, I didn't really understand it all, but I knew that there was a message in there for me. And she also was referencing astrology. So, and I at the time, I loved astrology. I was really into astrology. So the messages were just really resonating, and I was hooked. I had to know what it was, and I started to explore it.
Yeah, it kind of happens that way. I find that people, once they do have a reading done or have some kind of psychic experience of their own or with, that's when it kind of all starts, and
Yes.
then one thing leads to another.
Correct.
So, learning the tarot, is that something hard to do, or how does it work exactly?
So it's really not that hard. I know that it can seem very intimidating, especially with like the culture behind it. But really, what it comes down to is just intuition and your own understanding of the card. Visual things, synchronicities, colors. Really, all you need is just intuition again, but then logic as well. And you have to just be a good storyteller and be able to connect the dots. A lot of it is connecting the dots.
Yeah, that's what happens to me when I do tarot cards. What happens is that I tune in psychically, and the cards are kind of a tool
Yes.
that kind of help to connect the energy between me and the person that's having the
Yes,
reading
that's how it is
done.
for me.
And the combination of both give you a more in-depth reading. So there is some psychic behind your reading as well, am I right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
okay, so
Yes.
are you like an empath, or you consider yourself a psychic, or both?
So I consider myself an empath, an intuitive reader. I don't necessarily get strong visions. That is something that, I'm working on and working with. But I do find that, going off of, my intuitive abilities and also my
Right.
empathetic abilities and logic, it seems to all just tie together, and I get very positive feedback from the
Okay,
people that I
that's
read
good.
for.
Yeah, well, when you were
Yeah.
here at the event, you got a lot of positive feedback, and it was so great having you here to help me, because we had exactly when you were here a standing room only situation. So awesome. So that's good. So, I know about this, but I do want the audience to have an opportunity to listen in. So give us some history on tarot.
So some brief points about the history of tarot. I know that the first recorded history was between 1420 and 1440 in Italy. It was during the early Renaissance period, and it was in a very highly Gothic culture. And it was used at the time as playing cards. I think it was a game called Tarocchi, or if I'm pronouncing that right, I apologize. And it also was brought to Europe at that time by the Gypsies as well. But that then ties back into Egypt as well. It is said that the cards actually originally came from the pyramids in ancient Egypt, and it was a gift from one of the gods there, Thoth. He was the god of written wisdom.
Yeah.
And he gave it to mankind. So that was also, again, said to have come from there, but the first written history was in Italy, in Europe. But they started actually reading the cards as like having a spiritual kind of like fortune teller kind of vibe around the 18th century.
Well, fortune telling and psychic ability and all of that is like so ancient. Like a lot of stuff that we're doing here, you know, it seems you hear the term new age and people are under the impression that it's something new, but it's really very ancient that kind of went away for a while and then came back in other countries, but here in the Western world it's kind of gotten late to all of us here on this side of the world. But tarot, before there were tarot, there were also runes, exactly. It's pronounced runes, runes. Nice. And they have the symbols and everything on the runes. So before the paper and all of this stuff, so that's what they were using way back when. So tell me a little bit about the webinar that you're starting with us.
So the webinar is just basically what I want to do is really sit down with you guys and just really kind of, you know, dive into tarot, you know, kind of explain not only the meetings, but also kind of like the ritual behind it in a way, and just kind of show, you know, that it isn't as intimidating as it seems, and that a lot of people can read tarot cards, and show you guys that it's a great way to really connect with yourself, help other people, problem solve, things like that. And also I will touch on, you know, some history too, and different tools.
Like people can ask questions.
Yeah, people can ask
in
questions.
The webinar, yes. It's an interactive thing,
yes.
And she is going to be live, so of course you can interact, and she's just going to be, you know, putting everything out there and giving you lessons. So is it like a one lesson thing, or are there several lessons that are needed?
It'll be like a series. Definitely the first, it's a lot, you know, and I don't want to rush it or anything like that. So the first couple classes will just be going over, you know, what is tarot. You know, I'm going to be talking about, you know, the question, how to ask a question, how to lay out the cards, how to shuffle the cards, how to choose a deck, things like that. And then from there, we're going to dive into, there's 78 cards. So we're going to dive into the cards after that. And each week what we'll do is we'll go through some cards. I also have like some interactive things that I want to try to do with you guys, picking your own cards. And then kind of going with your intuition and kind of teaching you how to trust. And a lot of it is trusting your intuition as well, and knowing that there is no right or wrong, but you know, there is just an understanding. So that's really what I want to cover mostly in my classes.
Okay, sounds good. So people will be able to do their own tarot card readings after the class, basically?
Yes.
After it's all done?
Yeah, so after it's all said and done, this first series will just be about reading reading tarot for yourself. And then maybe, you know, we'll go on to reading for others. But first I want to get you guys comfortable with reading for yourself. We'll take it baby steps at a time.
I can't tell you, before this, so many people over the years have come to me and asked me if I would teach them.
Oh.
And that's something, between everything that I do, I have no time for. So it's great to have you here on board. So can you please tell our listeners how to join you, or how to follow your webinar, and how to reach you?
Yes. So I have an email that you guys can reach out to. It's rarepurposetarot@gmail.com. So you guys can reach out to me about readings and things like that. But my class will be held on crowdcast.io every Sunday from 3 to 4. And my information can also be found on Christine's website.
I'm putting everything up now.
Yeah.
Because we're just starting to put all this together.
So,
and as soon as it all becomes available, you guys are all going to get a notification that everything is up and running, and you guys can reserve your class. And yeah, I think that's awesome. I love having you here and being a part of all this.
I love being here.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. And just for you guys to know, um, we are putting all of this together. Everybody can reach us worldwide. So this is not something that's just limited to the United States. So anybody worldwide that speaks English, you are welcome to come and reserve a class. And I have multiple classes going on. And because we're all at home and due to this coronavirus, I do feel it's so important to be nourishing our spiritual lives as much as possible, because it's a scientific fact that when you're under too much stress or that you're feeling the weight of the world is on your shoulders, that the immune system becomes weak. But when you're spiritually strong and you've got your mind, body, and spirit together and your chakras are balanced, that this helps to strengthen our immune system. And of course, you feel better. So, like I said, there are going to be a bunch of classes going on. We have meditation classes. We have Indian mysticism classes. We have Reiki healing classes. And I'm also building up my class as well for psychic readings. And of course, if you want to do a psychic reading via telephone, I am available, 201-953-0658. If you're in the US or Canada and want to speak to other psychics offering different prices and stuff, feel free to go to psychicreadingstoday.com. Check out all the psychics, look at their bios, and choose one you would like to speak to. Thank you again so much. I wish you all the best of luck, and take care, everybody. God bless.
Bye.
Thank you for coming.